to today's edition of Newspaper Review on Emirate Radio. I am Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona. As you already know, today is Friday, 25th of April 2025. So, Jumas Karim to everyone. And as you already know, I will do it on Newspaper Review every morning. We bring you the newspaper headlines and the news in full. So stay with us as we take you through the Nigerian dailies this morning. So the newspaper we have this morning are the Punch newspaper, the Royal Online newspaper, the Leadership newspaper, the Nation newspaper, and of course the Daily Post newspaper. So stay with us and I'll be back. Newspaper this morning, over 26,000 Lagos students failed 2024 WAEC, says Commissioner. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, APC using money to buy off PDP, democracy at risk, says Babuje. Newspaper this morning, Unilorin Don, Professor Hannah Olawumi perhaps on benefits of blood donation. Still on the Online Royal newspaper this morning, Kwara Chief George lays blocks for new courts, oath office in Ajasheiko. On the Leadership newspaper this morning, Nigeria Customs reiterates commitment to professionalism, integrity. Still on the Leadership newspaper, it's World Malaria Day. So happy World Malaria Day, Nigeria. Families battle malaria with 1.156 trillion naira yearly. 30,000 out of school children return to schools in Lagos. Still on the Leadership newspaper this morning, Lagos advocates rent reduction, declares caution fee, inspection fee illegal. Still on the Leadership newspaper this morning, defection is a new dawn in Delta, says Moko. On the Leadership newspaper this morning as well, ATBU sacks lecturer over sexual harassment. And on the Nation newspaper this morning, Basiru, APC not turning Nigeria into one-party state. Still on the Nation newspaper this morning, court okays arrest warrant for 6 CBEX scam suspects. On the Nation newspaper this morning as well, JAM records smooth processes as UTME begins nationwide. Still on the Nation newspaper this morning, federal government requires 1 trillion naira yearly for school feeding. Still on the Nation newspaper this morning, coalition merger talks won't distract Tinubu, says Uzodinma. On Daily Post newspaper this morning, Sokoto to begin 2025 Hajj airlift on May 9th, says the Pilgrims Agency. On the Daily Post newspaper this morning, AAU rusticates start to 4 students of College of Medicine for examination malpractices. Still on Daily Post newspaper this morning, cut your beard before you ban dreadlocks, Daddy Shoki tells Nigeria's Governor Bago. Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, kidnapped Kaduna Catholic priest regains freedom. Post newspaper headline this morning: suspected herdsmen kill 7 in Benue midnight attack. You're still listening to newspaper review on Emirate Radio, so stay with us as I take you through the news in full. The Punch newspaper, over 26,000 Lagos students failed 2024 WAEC, says the commissioner. The Lagos State government has disclosed that 26,592 public school students failed the 2024 West African Senior School Certificate Examination, raising alarm across the state's education sector. The Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Jamiu Ali Balogun, said this during a ministerial press briefing in Alausa and Ikeja yesterday. He said 45.7% of the 58,188 students from public schools who sat for the examination did not pass. This failure rate comes despite the state government's significant financial backing of 1.557 billion naira paid on behalf of the students to cover WAEC fees. Suffice to say that the sum of 1.577.794 was paid by the Senate government as examination fee for 58,188 students who were captured for the year 2024 WAEC, Ali Balogun announced. In a bid to tighten accountability and avoid wastage, the Commissioner disclosed that biometric and image registration was carried out to accurately determine eligible students for government sponsorship for the 2025 WAEC. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, APC using money to buy off PDP democracy at risk, says Baguje. A former presidential advisor and ex-member of the House of Representatives, Osman Baguje, has accused the ruling All Progressive Congress of using financial inducement to orchestrate the defection of key figures from the opposition People's Democratic Party. Baguje made the statement during a televised interview on Arise TV yesterday. He expressed concern over what he described as the monetization of politics and its implications for Nigerians' democracy. For what I know, and I don't claim to know everything, the APC is basically using money to buy off PDP, he said. He further noted that in some cases, individuals facing investigations might also be pressured into threats. Of course, if there are people with records on the EFCC, they might threaten them. They might do these kinds of things, and this has been the practice right from the time of President Obasanjo, he added. But Bugaje stressed that the deeper issue lies in how money has become a central factor in political alliance, warning that such trends could signal the demise of democracy. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Atiku Sarakispe aired PDP resurgence amid key defection. The opposition coalition led by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the immediate past Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai yesterday hit back at the presidency, saying the defection of Delta Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, his predecessor Ifeanyi Okowa, and several prominent leaders of the People's Democratic Party did not come as a surprise. A key stakeholders of the coalition and former National Vice Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Malam Saliu Lukman, disclosed this in a statement made available to the newsmen in Abuja. Lukman was reacting to Monday's trolling by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Baya Onanuga, who mocked Atiku, saying his coalition will crumble following the defection of his key allies to the APC. Atiku's political future looks bleak. The coalition that he, El-Rufai, Babachir, and new member Abba Ahmed are coming together has disintegrated. Potential allies, including former running mate Ifeanyi Okowa and defunct CPC members, are giving his laborious group a wide berth. Atiku is a loser again, he stated. Onanuga's scratching remark was a follow-up to a similar post by fellow presidential aide Tunde Rahman, who also derided the PDP, describing the development as the biggest shocker ever for Atiku. And on the leadership newspaper this morning, Nigerian Custom reiterates commitment to professionalism, integrity. The new Custom Area Controller (CAC) for Ogun 1 Command of Nigeria Customs Services, Controller Godwin Otunla, yesterday vowed to deploy all legal means in the service's arsenal to enforce strict compliance with the law guiding transborder trade in the command catchment areas, with particular emphasis on combating smuggling and trade facilitation. Otunla promised that the Ogun 1 Command in Idiroko under my watch will not tolerate any form of economic sabotage but uphold the extant international trade law. The new CAC stated this while taking over the mantle of leadership at the handing over ceremony held at the command's headquarters in Idiroko in Ipokia local government area of Ogun State. In his takeover speech, Otunla expressed deep appreciation to the Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adeniyi, and the management team for their confidence in him, culminating in his deployment to the command. The new CAC pledged to uphold the core values and professionalism, integrity, and national service in its new role. Alright, it's World Malaria Day. So happy World Malaria Day, world! Families battle malaria with 1.156 trillion naira yearly. Malaria is crazy. Yes, I do have those every month, I think. So my money is part of that 1.156 trillion naira that is here, I think. So, as the world marks World Malaria Day, Nigerian families are still battling the scourge with a whopping 1.156 trillion naira spent on treatments annually. Although malaria is preventable, it remains a major public health challenge in Nigeria, placing a significant financial burden on families who frequently grapple the cost of treatment. According to the World Health Organization 2022 report, Nigeria recorded an estimated 86 million malaria cases and 194,000 deaths in 2021, making it the country with the highest malaria burden globally, accounting for nearly 27% of all cases worldwide. Wow, that is huge. It's really huge. Okay. Still on the leadership newspaper this morning, Lagos advocates rent reduction, declares caution fee, inspection fee illegal. Lagos State government has charged the leadership of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, and Association of Estate Agents in Nigeria to support the drive to reduce the rent burden on Lagosians and shun the prevalent illegal fees in the real estate businesses. In a statement by the Deputy Director of Public Affairs, Ganiu Lawal, a professional bodies were also urged to stem the rate at which agents across the real estate value chain engage in competition of fees in real estate transactions. It stated that the introduction of illegal fees such as caution fee, inspection fee, finder's fee, and others represents a professionally harmful practice which affects tenants and puts the integrity of the practitioners and property owners at risks. The Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, and Association of Estate Agents in Nigeria were invited to a stakeholders meeting jointly chaired by the Commissioner of Housing, Maruf Akinderu Fatai, and the Special Advisor to the Governor of Lagos State on Housing, Barakat Odenuga Bakare. The session is a continuation of strategic engagement to curb arbitrary rent charges, demand for high agent fees, and promotion of sanity in the real estate businesses in Lagos. Like those people, they are not nice at all. If you don't pay them their money, you're on your own. They show you crazy, dirty, like houses that you don't even want to buy. They'll not be like, I have one house, like as Akule said the other time, I have one house, I'm the one that's supposed to live there. If you can pay the money, they know you are desperate and you are going to pay. So yeah, the money is crazy, not just in Lagos, it's everywhere now. So Still on the leadership newspaper this morning, 30,000 out of school children return to school in Lagos. Lagos State government has revealed that it successfully enrolled and kitted about 30,000 out of school children nationwide within a year. In line with its tradition, the state government paid 1.577794 as examination fee for 58,188 students captured for the 2024 WAEC. These were disclosed by the State Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Tolani Ali Balogun, during the 2025 press briefing at Alausa Ikeja to mark the second year of the second term in office of the state governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Ali Balogun, however, lamented that less than 50% of the 58,188 Lagos students, representing 54.3%, who participated in the 2024 West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination failed the examination, explaining that only 45.7% of students passed English and mathematics. The commissioner, however, said that the state government has been addressing the decline in performance of students in West African Senior School Certificate Examination and other external examination in recent time and have advised strategies for improvement, seeking innovative solutions. Seen on the leadership newspaper this morning, defection is a new dawn in Delta, says Mwoko. The senator representing Delta North Senatorial District and chairman Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Crude Oil Thefts, Senator Ned Nwoko, has described the defection of Governor Sharif Oberevori of Delta to the All Progressive Congress as a new dawn in the political history of the state. Nwoko gave the charge yesterday in Abuja in his reaction to the defection of the Delta governor. He noted that it was a new dawn also for the realization of the much desired Anioma state. According to him, with the Delta governor's defection to the APC, a significant chapter in our nation's political history is being rewritten. This moment is not just about shifting alliances, it is about the bold possibilities now within reach. For the first time in decades, we have a real chance to restructure Nigeria's federating units through constitutionally backed reforms that serve justice, equity, and true federalism. It now behoves on you to rise to the historic moment. The past must not be carried into the future. Old habits, old politics, and the old deals that led to the gradual decline of the PDP in Delta must be left behind. He said that Oborevori, a governor leading the charge among 5 PDP governors now aligning with the APC, has stepped into a energized and focused. So on the leadership newspaper this morning, ATBU sacks lecturer over sexual harassment. Overpressure Fire Balewa University, ATBU Bauchi, has dismissed one of its lecturer, Dr. Usman Muhammad Aliyu, from the institution over an alleged sexual harassment of his students. Newsmen report that Mrs. Kamila Rufai Aliyu, a postgraduate student of the Department of Chemical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Engineering Technology, petitioned the university's management through the development to investigate the matter last year. The students also accused Dr. Aliyu of threatening her academic success if she failed to comply with his demands. The lecturer, having learnt about a petition against him, filed a defamation lawsuit in court against the students, the department, and the university. But the university, in its newsletter, ATBU Herald of April 22, Volume 39, Number 4, stated that the Governing Council of the university has dismissed Dr. Usman Muhammad Aliyu from its services. The newsletter reads, in its 96th regular meeting held on Friday, 11th April 2025, the council approved the dismissal of Dr. Aliyu for sexual harassment. Wow, that's very bold of that man. Like, they talk say you harass somebody and you have the audacity to go and file a lawsuit against the students and the school at large. That man get mind though. Alright, we'll be right back after this short break.
take the lead among all radio station. Emirate Radio, the station of your choice. We take the lead among all radio station. Emirate Radio.
Welcome back from that short break. You're still listening to Newspaper Review on Emirate Radio. On the next newspaper this morning is the Nation newspaper. Basiru, APC not turning Nigeria into one-party state. The All Progressive Congress National Secretary Senator Ajibola Basiru has dismissed claims that the ruling party is steering the country towards a one-party system. Basiru, who spoke on television last night, dismissed insinuation that defection to the APC is driven by the intimidation of the opposition parties. He said the defection of Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, his deputy Monday Onyeme, and the former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa to the APC underscored their acknowledgement of the progress being made by the APC administration at the same time. Basiru said, "How can we turn Nigeria into a one-party state? The country is not our making. I think the problem with Nigeria is that we don't seem to have people who are very serious in opposition, who take their jobs seriously. You cannot expect the ruling parties to do the work of the opposition." Basiru urged the media to assess the inactivity of the opposition parties in contrast with the APC's effort to build a robust grassroots structure across the country. He added, "Tomorrow is a working day. Go around the headquarters of all other political parties and see whether you find any activities going on. One of the cardinal policies of our party since Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje assumed leadership is to build a functional and efficient party structure in every ward, local governments, and the state in Nigeria, and that is what we are doing." Basiru recalled that when the APC was in the opposition, it maintained its vigor despite pressure and investigation. He stressed, when we were in the opposition, Bola Tinubu, for instance, in the Southwest, was the only surviving governor after the 2003 elections. Even with the harassment people talk about, the now National Security Advisor said that the then governor was the most investigated by the EFCC. Still on the Nation newspaper this morning, court okays arrest warrant for 6 CBEX scam suspects. The Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday ordered the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to arrest, detain, and prosecute 6 individuals alleged to be behind a crypto bridge exchange CBEX fraud. The suspects are Adefowora Olanipekun, Adefowora Oluwanishola, Emmanuel Uko, Seyi Oloyede, Averuso Oturudo, and Chukwebuka Ehirim. Justice Emeka Nwite issued the order after AFCC counsel Fadila Yusuf moved an ex parte motion to that effect. Justice Nwite in a ruling said, "I have listened to the submission of the learned counsel of the applicant. I have also reviewed the affidavit evidence along with the exhibits and the written addresses. I am of the view and I so hold that the application is meritorious. Consequently, the application is granted as prayed." The judge ordered the EFCC to arrest and remand the 6 in custody until the conclusion of his investigation and the prosecution is initiated. In a supporting affidavit, the EFCC accused the 6 of committing investment fraud exceeding $1 billion. It's alleged that they promised extraordinary high return with some guarantees reaching up to 100%. This is really funny. We too like, what do I call it in Nigeria? You say you give 10,000, they give you 20,000. How is that possible? With which work? How would they not take your money? What pains me is that I see these names, they look similar. I think they are brothers. Adefowora Olanipekun, Adefowora Oluwanishola, like, oh my God, how are their parents going to feel? I hope they are not saying that anyway. I pray God, I don't know, I don't want to pray for them. They should be there. I hope they get what they deserve. And the Nigerians too, they like money too much. They get what they deserve. You give them 10,000, you collect 20,000. How is that possible? I hope people get slain because it's been happening every year. That money is huge, $1 billion. Like, wow. Right, moving away from that, still on the Nation newspaper this morning, JAMB records smooth processes as UTME begins nationwide. The 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exam conducted by the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAM) began yesterday nationwide with the supervisors of some computer-based test centers hailing the process. About 2 million candidates registered for the examination, which will be conducted in about 700 CBT centers nationwide. The examination will be held on April 30 at Lavergne British International School, CBT Center, Akurudu Center Administration. Ubamadu Akuruha expressed satisfaction with the conduct. He emphasized the punctuality of candidates and the absence of technical difficulties. At Emma's Computer Institute, Motherland, Niger State, owner of the center, Emmanuel Ekiwe, lauded the turnout of students. The examination started at exactly 8 a.m. and the students turned out massively. Ekiwe told our reporter during a visit to the center. The JAM accredited CBT Center Supervisor at Rosa Mystical Academy, Salih Mustafa, hailed candidates for arriving early, noting that the early turnout contributed to the smooth running of the day's session. The candidates came out early. It is commendable. We started accreditation at around 6:30 a.m. and the examination started promptly around 8 a.m., it said. Mustafa also lauded the facility for providing a supportive environment for the exercise. Alright, that is laudable. Congratulations in advance to students that are going to pass the examination. And still on the Nation newspaper this morning, federal government requires 1 trillion naira yearly for school feeding. Like, that is outrageous because I don't think they are giving those pupils the food they deserve. It is really, I don't know. I think they are making a lot of money from that one. That's why yearly they continue to put money into it. Like, it's just like they are recycling our money and eating it through that. How many pupils are they feeding, for God's sake? Anyway, about 1 trillion naira is required yearly for school feeding, the federal government said yesterday. Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Tanko Sonunu, made this known at the stakeholders meeting on the relaunch and scaling of the renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program, RHNAGSFP, in Abuja. The minister, an assessment by the head of communication and public relations of the National School Investment Program Agency, Atari Hope, emphasized the need for substantial feeding, stated that approximately 900 billion naira to 1 trillion naira will be required annually to provide nutritious meals for primary school pupils in grade 1 to 3, with a target of 3 meals per day. Like, how are they going to make it 3 meals per day? The children are not going to go home to eat snail. No wonder they put 1 trillion naira for the money. Like, it's outrageous and it does not make sense. I don't think they think Nigerians have head to think at all. And if you go and see the food they are feeding to students, you cannot even stand it at all. And imagine 900 billion naira to 1 trillion naira is outrageous. Really, really outrageous. And lastly, this morning on the Nation newspaper, coalition merger talks won't distract Tinubu, says Uzodimma. I was one of the earliest speakers the moment it happened. I anchored my reasoning and logic on protection of our economic assets when pipelines were bombed. Had to prioritize safeguarding production. As chairman of the National Economic Council Subcommittee on Crude Oil Theft, our efforts have been on how to boost outputs, and any action threatening our quarters must be condemned. The President, as Chief Security Officer, acted to cool tension in River. By the time I heard that the pipeline was paused at the time, we were crying and making efforts geared towards boosting production. So, anything that will lead to further leakage or reduce the production quota we have should not be encouraged. Like, seriously, election in 2027 is going to be very, very interesting. Like, very, very interesting. And on the Nation newspaper, on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, Sokoto to begin 2025 Hajj airlift on May 9th. The Sokoto State Pilgrim Welfare Agency has announced that the airlift of intended pilgrims for the 2025 Hajj exercise will commence on May 9th. Chairman of the agency, Ali Musa, disclosed this to the journalists while giving an update on preparation ahead of the pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. He revealed that out of 2,860 registered intending pilgrims from the state, 2,500 visas have already been processed. We have finalized arrangements with officials of Flying as Airline. the airline responsible for airlifting intended pilgrims from the state to the Holy Land. He explained that all logistic arrangements were being concluded to ensure a smooth and successful Hajj operation for pilgrims from the state. Oh, congratulations in advance to all those that are going. I hope they will go there and represent Nigeria well, and Allah will accept their ibadah when it's time. Alright. And lastly, on newspaper review today on the Daily Post newspaper, cut your beard before you ban dreadlock. Daddy Shoki tells Nigeria's Governor Bago. Yes, Nigerian musician Daddy Shoki has criticized the Niger State Governor Umar Bago for ordering security operatives to arrest any individuals with dreadlocks. Newsmen report that Governor Bago gave the instruction in Mina during the security meeting. He explained that the measure is part of his government's effort to curb the resurgency of insecurity in Mina, the state's capital. However, reacting to the declaration in an Instagram post, Daddy Shoki, who is known for his signature dreadlocks, questioned whether dreadlocks were the cause of insecurity, while revealing plans to cancel a scheduled trip to Niger State following the directives. Shoki challenged the governor to cut off his own beard first before cutting people's hair. Alright, I think seriously, it's really somehow. I grew up in Jos too, so most time there's a crisis. You see those army people when they see a guy with afro or they see a guy with lock, they take you, they bring you and they use scissors to cut your hair. It is really infuriating. Even I was still very small then. When I see them doing that, it's really like infuriating. And like, what's the association of the insurgents going on in the states and you cutting people's hair? Like I like what that Shoki has said, and I don't think it's the right step to take. What's people's dress or the people that are doing this insurgents? They are not going to come out for you to see them. Talk less of so people that don't know what's going on. They are the ones that are going through this thing. So I think it's not a right move at all, and they should look into it and stop that. It's like a child's play. These people with dread hair and people with baggy jeans or whatever should not move around because there's insurgency in the state. You should tackle the insurgency and not people with a dreadlock. So, and that brings us to the end of newspaper review on Emirate Radio this morning. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. I remain yours, Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona. Have a great month and weekend.